Hello students, today we start the new unit or you can say new chapter, that is communication skills, which is the first unit of employability skills. So let's start. Communication. Communication refers to the exchange of information, ideas, thoughts and feelings by various methods such as by using words, sounds, signs, symbols, behavior, gestures, body posture, etc. Now, let's discuss what are the learning objectives of effective communication. First is sending, receiving, and understanding the message or information. Next, development of interpersonal skills. Interpersonal skills are the behaviors and tactics a person uses to interact with others effectively. Third one is to express effectively with maximum efficiency. Next is communication cycle. In communication cycle, there are 7 elements which are used to complete the communication process, and all these elements are compulsory in a communication process. So, first element is called sender. The sender is a person or an entity who wants to send a message, and you can say it is the source or the originator of the communication. Next is element is the message. The message, you can say this is the information or idea that the sender wants to convey to the receiver. Next element is encoding. This refers to the process where the sender uses some means like language or symbols or body postures or anything else to translate the information or idea in the form of message. Means if you have some idea in your mind and you want to convey that message to the receiver, then you will try to convert that information in form of written words or in an oral form or through the body posture, etc. That is the encoding. And next is element is the channel. Channel is the medium by which the message is sent. Next element is receiver. The receiver is the person or entity to whom the message is sent. Next element is decoding. This is the process where the receiver interprets and understands the message, means the information which is sent by the sender. The receiver decode means he try to understand that information, either it is in uh, oral form or in a written form or in a picture form. And last element of communication is feedback. The receiver's response to the message is called the feedback. Next is communication styles. In communication styles, basically there are 3 types of communication styles. First one is called verbal communication, second is called non-verbal communication, and last one is called the visual communication. Now first is verbal communication. Verbal communication is the use of language to transfer or share information through speaking or sign language. Verbal communication is the most common types which is used during the presentations, video conferencing, phone calls, meetings or one-to-one conversations. Verbal communication is again categorized into categories, or you can say it will be divided into 2 categories. First one is called the oral communication, or next one is called, and next one is called the written communication. Now let's discuss the first category of verbal communication, that is the oral communication. When a message or information is communicated to others by speaking or by using the word of mouth, that is called the oral communication. And the biggest advantage of oral communication is that the sender get the immediate feedback from the listeners. Next is advantages of oral communication. So the first advantage is less expensive. The benefits of oral communication is it is less expensive and saves money because there is no need of using the stationery or using any type of gadgets. Next is that is the saves time. Merits of oral communication are that it saves our time, labor and energy because it is direct, faster and personal. Next advantage is immediate feedback, as we have discussed that the best advantage of the oral communication is that the sender gets the immediate feedback. Now the next is personal contact. Oral communication is more effective and develops personal contact, which is essential and valuable for smooth working. For example, if you are working in a office or any other working area, then if you want to contact or if you want to interact all the people in your working area, then there is a need of the oral communication. Now the next advantage is useful in difficult situations. Oral communication is very effective and very useful in difficult and emergent situations. Next is disadvantages of oral communication. So the first disadvantage of oral communication is that lack of accountability. In oral communication, a speaker or a listener cannot be held accountable for any type of vocal message, as anyone can claim or disclaim having said or heard something because there is no record, no storage of oral communication that who have said and who have heard the message. Next disadvantage is low reference value. As we know, the oral communication cannot be stored for the future reference. Next disadvantage is greater scope of errors. In oral communication, there is a greater chance of misunderstanding due to the verbal nature of exchange. And the last one is easily forgotten. In oral communication, what is orally said cannot be remembered for a long time as a human nature. As we all know, if we discuss something in a group or in our class, many of the things we got forget after some time. Written communication, it is the another category of verbal communication. In written communication, the message or information is passed to others in the written form. That type of communication is called the written communication. Written communication is very effective when we want to convey the same message to a large group of people. For example, writing letters, notes, SMS, email, pamphlets, blogs, books, newspapers, etc. Advantages of written communication. So the first advantage is a permanent record. In written communication, we can maintain a permanent records of the information which is being shared or exchanged by the user for future use also. Next is the meticulous presentation. As a written document is permanent record, so the people are very cautious to fulfill all the writing requisites to make the writing perceivable at the other end. Means they try to make a document like that every person can easily understand the written content of the file. Next is easy circulation. A written document can easily be circulated in any organization or in any place, which is not possible in oral communication. Suitable for statistical data. For example, if we have any type of data and we want to present in form of charts or in figures or in pictures form, then that is the best form to present the information. Next is the promotes goodwill. When conducting a business, a well-crafted written document speaks volume about the completeness of the particular organization. Means if a particular organization keep the records in a proper manner of all the content in written form, then that uh, that thing helps, or you can say it promotes the goodwill of the organization. Disadvantages of written communication. So the first disadvantage is time consuming. As we all know, if we want to make a good piece of document, then a person has to invest a lot of time. But it is very difficult when you have limited time period. Next is non-flexible. A written document cannot be altered once circulated. This makes the written communicated non-flexible because every written word is concrete and final. Next is no scope for clarification. It means if the document is not created according to the less knowledgeable persons, then the details cannot be kept or understood by these such peoples. Next is demands writing proficiency. In order to deliver the message adequately across the other end, then the person should be perfect in writing. Next is probably of wrong interpretation. If there are complex words or the difficult sentences included in the written document, then one may interpret a wrong or no meaning out of it. Now the next type of communication is non-verbal communication. In non-verbal communication, we use body languages, gestures, facial expressions, hand movements, body languages, etc. to convey our information to others. It may be intentionally or unintentionally. Generally, non-verbal communications are very helpful when we try to understand others' thoughts and feelings. Now the next is advantages of non-verbal communication. So the first advantage is complementary. Non-verbal cues complement a verbal message by adding to its meaning. Means if we use any facial expressions or gestures while doing any type of verbal communication, then it will be a complement to the meaning of verbal message. Next is easy presentation. Means in non-verbal communication, we can easily present our information by using various means such as visual, audiovisual, silent means. Substituting non-verbal messages can be used as a substitute for the verbal messages, especially when if it is blocked by noise, interruption, long distance, language barrier, etc. For this, we can take some examples also. For example, we can use gestures and facial expressions. In gestures, we put the fingers on our lips to indicate that there is a need of silence. For example, and for facial expressions, for example, we can, if we want to show our anger, then we can use the facial expressions. Next is reducing wastage of time. In non-verbal communication, the messages reaches to the receiver very fast in comparison of other means of messages. In non-verbal communication, we can also use signs and symbols to communicate some messages very quickly. Next is disadvantages or limitations of non-verbal communication. So the first disadvantage is vague and imprecise. In non-verbal communication, there is no use of words or languages which express the clear meaning to the receiver, and there is no dictionary which can accurately classify these things. And the meaning also varies not only by culture and context but by the degree of intentions also. Next disadvantage is continuous. In verbal communication, it is possible to stop the talking, but it is generally not possible to stop talking in non-verbal communication. Next is multi-channel. While making eye contact with someone else, sometimes we may miss some important hand gestures or hand movements, and everything is happening at the same time. So sometimes we may face very difficulties, or it may be a very confusing to keep up with everything. Next disadvantage of non-verbal communication is culture bond. As we all know, in our childhood, we learn many things related to the non-verbal communication, which is passed to us by our parents and by our family members. A few gestures seems to be universal in all cultures, like when a person happy, then he smiles. When a person is unhappy, then he frowns. However, most non verbal symbols seems to be even further disconnected from any essential meaning than verbal symbols. Gestures seen as positive in one culture, like the thumbs up gesture in the USA, may be seen as the absence in another culture. Next and the last disadvantage is long conversations are not possible. In non-verbal communication, long discussions and long explanations are not possible. Now the third type of communication is visual communication. Visual communication, or you can say the graphic communication, is the most important type of communication. In this communication, we use photographs, videos, arts, drawings, sketches, charts, symbols, and graphs to convey information. Different types of visuals are used as an aid during the presentation to provide helpful context alongside written or verbal communication. Next is body language. Body language is another aspect of non-verbal communication where our physical behavior or our different body postures are used to convey information. So there should be a unity between the body language and our words. If they are not according to each other, then they will not convey a proper message to the listener or to the receiver. Now, the body language includes first one is the facial expression like happiness or sadness. Next is the posture, different sitting styles and standing styles. Next one is gestures. We make a different type of gesture by using our fingers. Next is the touch. Next is the use of space, means the difference or there is a gap between in the sender or the receiver during the communication. Next and the last is the eye movement. Now the do's and don'ts of non-verbal messages and body language. So let's start from the do's. Make eye contact, means during the communication the eye contact should be maintained. Next is check your facial expressions. Proper facial expression is required. Next is be natural with your gestures. There is no artificial gestures at that time. Maintain a receptive posture. Your posture should be a good at that time. Next is refrain from sending mismatched messages. No unnecessary messages should be passed. Next is watch for actions that can be taken for defensiveness, means if any other irrelevant message is passed, then there is a chance to take the defense against that. Next is don't appear disengaged, means you don't show that you are not taking interest in communication. Next are the don'ts. Rubbing your hands together during an important meetup. Next is leaning back while meeting with a friend to close colleague. Next is crossing your arms during an interesting conversation. Next, not making eye contact. Next is making too much eye contact. Next is fidgeting. And last one is touching your face too often. Thank you.